Good morning, good afternoon, or evening, wherever you're joining us from today. Over the past year, I've had a lot of conversations with Oracle and other industry leaders about artificial intelligence. What's interesting is how the conversation has shifted. A year ago, the question was whether AI was relevant. Today, the question is how to move forward without introducing risk. Because in any enterprise environment, stability is not optional. We're talking about financial systems, supply chains, human capital platforms, regulatory reporting. These systems run your business. They cannot become experimental playgrounds. At the same time, AI momentum is very real. Boards are asking about it, executives are evaluating it, and competitors are already investing in it. So tension becomes clear. How do we innovate responsibly without compromising stability? That's what today is all about. Not hype, not theory, not chasing tools, but overcoming the barriers that prevent real world innovation and doing it in a way that aligns with operational discipline. Before we get started, I just want to mention that some of the things we'll be talking about today might involve future thinking. Things can change, so consider this presentation as a friendly guidance to help you understand AI better. My goal is to make AI less mysterious and show you practical ways it might help you in your role. Any decisions you make, of course, are your own. Hi there, I'm Joe Malewicki, CEO of iArch Solutions, and I've been in the technology field for nearly 30 years. I hold multiple certifications as a cloud architect and AI professional. What that really means is I spend decades helping organizations like your own modernize complex enterprise systems without breaking what already works. And yes, I'm still probably the biggest tech nerd in the room, so bear with me today. In my role, I work directly with enterprise leaders navigating cloud transformation projects, data governance, and now AI adoption inside modern mission critical environments. Today, my goal is to give you a practical roadmap you can actually use. Not theory, not vendor hype, but a disciplined approach that helps you evaluate AI opportunities with clarity, structure, and executive alignment. Throughout the session, I'm hoping to share patterns we're seeing across real enterprise environments where teams tend to stall and what separates control progress from unnecessary risk. If you'd like to continue the conversation afterward, of course, you're welcome to contact me, but we also regularly, excuse me, regularly share practical insights on our website, our LinkedIn page, and of course, YouTube channel, including past presentations, webinars, and executive briefings. Just a quick bit of background on iArch Solutions. We're a sole full-service consulting firm. We help businesses build reliable, resilient systems through AI, cloud computing, and financial services software implementations. Our certified team of architects and engineers is accessible around the clock and bring calm, proven expertise to any project we're engaged with. We've led hundreds of successful migrations, upgrades, implementations, and modernizations. We help organizations make complex technology transitions smooth and confidently efficient. At iArch, we believe that when your systems are stable and dependable, you can focus on what really matters, growing your business. We're proud to work with organizations across nearly every industry, vertical, and public and private sector. This diversity gives us the insight to deliver reliable, resilient solutions that fit each client's unique goals. Through strong partnerships with Oracle, IBM, Deloitte, and many other leading innovators, we stay at the forefront of AI technology, cloud, and financial systems computing technology solutions. These relationships help us bring proven best practices and lasting confidence to every project we deliver. But okay, enough about our solutions and myself and a commercial. Let's dive into today's topic. So first, let's ground this in what I'm seeing across many enterprise environments today. AI interest is widespread. Okay. Most leadership teams are discussing it. You're here for a reason. Many organizations are experimenting with pilots or isolated use cases, but execution is very inconsistent. Some teams are building proof of concepts and pilots that never move forward. Others are waiting because the risk feels unclear or scary. Some are unsure how to transition from experimentation to operational scale. And the key point is this: the barriers are very rarely technical. It's not that today's cloud providers lack the AI capabilities we need for our business. It's not that they can't support the workloads we want to give them. It's not the tools are immature. They're actually very mature, actually. The friction usually shows up someplace else. It's in the ownership being unclear. Governance isn't defined. Maybe data quality is uncertain. Security teams are cautious. Maybe there's no structured path from pilot to production. AI does not stall because innovation or want is missing. It stalls because the organization is not aligned around how to adopt it responsibly. Now, before we go further, I think we have to define what we're talking about when we say responsible AI. What does that mean? Because the phrase gets used a lot and it often sounds academic or abstract, but it's actually quite simple. Responsible AI is not about slowing innovation. It's not about creating extra bureaucracy, which tends to be passed around in the industry. It's not about avoiding progress. It's about alignment. That's what responsible AI is, about alignment. It's alignment between your technology and your business outcomes, alignment between AI capabilities and governance controls, alignment between innovation and operational stability, responsible AI. In enterprise environments, responsible AI means three things. First, governance is defined before deployment. Second, the data being used is trusted, understood. And third, the solution can operate can operate within existing controls. Pardon my language here. And just as important, it must be measurable. If we cannot tie AI back to a business outcome, some improved efficiency, reduced risk, or faster decision making, then it becomes experimentation without direction. Responsible AI is not cautious for the sake of caution. It's intentional so that innovation can scale. When AI initiatives stall, it's usually because one or more of these five barriers are present. First, starting with technology instead of the business problem. Teams get so excited, as we all do individually, about new tools, new models, new features available to us. But if the use case is not clearly tied to a measurable business outcome, the initiative will often lose momentum, and pretty quickly when that happens. Second, underestimating data readiness. This might actually be first, but it definitely is a strong number two. AI magnifies data quality issues. More about this later. If your master data is inconsistent or ownership is unclear of that data, the output will not be trusted. Third, unclear governance and ownership. If no one clearly owns the initiative, or if the risk review happens late in the game, progress slows. Responsible AI requires defined accountability from the start. Fourth, pilot fatigue. Many organizations run pilots. Fewer define what success looks like beyond the pilot. Without a path to production, pilots become experiments that never scale. And fifth, integration complexity. Enterprise environments are all interconnected: finance, HR, supply chain, manufacturing, reporting, you name it. AI does not operate in isolation within your enterprise, your organization. Integration planning must be a critical part of the initial design phases, not an afterthought. So, if you recognize any of these within your organization, you're not alone. These are all very, very common problems that we come across regularly. If there's one principle that separates a successful AI initiative from a stalled one, it's this: start with the business problem. Not the model, not the tool, not the vendor roadmap, no matter what anybody wants to tell you. The first question should always be a simple one. What outcomes are we trying to improve? Is it reducing manual effort and reconciliation? Is there improved forecast accuracy or speeding up our reporting cycles? Is it reducing operational risk for us? Okay. Then you have to quantify it. What does success look like? Is 10% time savings, faster close, fewer manual corrections? If we can't define success clearly, we can't measure impact. A little side note, I did a longer workshop this past year called Beyond the Buzz, where we went deeper into exactly this: how to structure AI use cases for your organization with measurable outcomes. I welcome you folks to check that out if you'd like, or reach out to me afterward and I can provide some information about that. Okay, so moving on. Next, we have identifying the executive sponsor. Responsible AI initiatives need visible ownership. Without sponsorship, alignment typically breaks down and it happens pretty quick. And finally, ensure the initiative ties to a strategic priority. AI should accelerate what already matters to your business. It should not create side projects that are competing for the attention and resources of your daily run business. This is a critical one, right? Tie it to your strategic priority of your organization. When AI is anchored to a defined business outcome, momentum becomes a much easier thing to sustain within your group. One of the biggest misconceptions about artificial intelligence is that governance slows things down. Okay. In enterprise environments, governance is actually what allows things to scale safely. Responsible AI does not mean creating an entirely new control structure. It means extending the governance disciplines you already have in place inside of your enterprise and ecosystem environment. Start with ownership. Who is accountable for the AI initiative? Not just technically, but from the business side and risk perspective within your organization. You want to extend the existing security and access controls. Enterprise environments already have defined roles, identity management systems and solutions, approval workflow and change management processes, audit trails. AI needs to operate within those same guardrails. Don't reinvent the wheel for artificial intelligence. Then you want to review the risk and compliance before deployments, not after. Super, super important here. Security teams should not be in the final checkpoint of a go live for an AI project. They should be part of the early design phases and conversations. Finally, embed auditability and monitoring from the beginning of your actual AI project. If an AI model influences decisions within your organization or automates tasks, there needs to be transparency. Who used it? What data was involved? Where did it come from? What changed as a result? Okay. Auditability and monitoring are super, super important. And governance is not a break. Remember that. Governance is the framework that allows innovation to move forward with confidence and trust. So, the hard truth about any AI project is AI does not fix data problems, it amplifies them. Okay. If your data is clean, if it's structured and well governed, AI can accelerate insight and automation. If your data is inconsistent, poorly owned, mismanaged, AI produces results that nobody trusts or trust is lacking. And as we all know, once trust is lost for something, adoption tends to stall or slow down. In many large enterprises, actually even small enterprise environments too, the applications are already super strong and reliable. The infrastructure is already mature, but data ownership and consistency can still be fragmented, which is normally the case across different lines of business in different departments, finance, HR, supply chain, so on. So you should be asking yourself, who owns master data? Are definitions consistent across all of our systems? Are integrations documented and understood? These aren't technical questions, they're organizational ones, they're strategic questions. The data problem, as it's known today, is also why you see major platform investments across multiple industries, including Oracle's own evolving data platform strategy. Not a commercial on that. We'll have a webinar on that one down the road in the very near future. But the focus is on unifying your data sets, strengthening your governance, and enabling AI on top of a consistent foundation of reliable data. Regardless of the tool set, the principles do not change. Data architecture and engineering must come before your AI architecture. Responsible AI starts with well-trusted, well-governed data. Let me show you how this typically plays out in a disciplined Oracle Cloud environment as an example. At the center, you already have your existing Oracle environment and ecosystem, financial, supply chain, EPM, HCM, things you hear about all the time, your core enterprise systems. That foundation is not experimental. It runs your business today. The safest place to begin is actually the middle ring or next ring out, which is the embedded AI and automation ring. So in the Oracle realm, you have the Oracle Cloud applications. They already include built-in AI capabilities and are adding more on a regular basis, faster than we can even track them nowadays. These operate inside your existing security model, identity management, audit controls, and governance structures. That makes them extremely low risk starting points because you're not introducing a new architectural layer or brand new system to your infrastructure. You're extending what you already control, own, and have in place and have expertise in. This is where early traction happens, like automating repetitive tasks, improving data validation, enhancing forecasting and accuracy, or supporting faster analysis. And again, this is specifically for Oracle as an example, but any enterprise software solution you might have, the same principles apply. The next is the outer ring, and this is the custom AI expansion. In the Oracle world, that might include things like OCI's AI services, data platform services, custom models or agent integrations, or deeper automation initiatives. But notice the order. You don't start with the outer ring. You build confidence within your organization and within your staff and your people in the middle layer first. This is critical. The goal early on, it's not transformation using AI. That's actually the worst thing you can do. The goal is get traction with AI adoption. Early wins build confidence. Confidence builds adoption, and adoption enables you to scale within your organization. Everything we've been discussing so far, I can really kind of distill into a simple framework. It's kind of a busy picture here, but it kind of gets the message across. Before launching or expanding an AI initiative, you need to evaluate the readiness across several different areas. First is business alignment. Again, is there a clearly defined business outcome? Is success measurable? Is there executive sponsorship? Second is governance and risk controls. Are ownership, access, and compliance and audit mechanisms defined and in place before deployment? Third is data readiness, the big data question, data problem again. Is the underlying data trusted? Is it consistent? Is it governed? Super, super important. Are definitions aligned across your various systems? Fourth is operational preparedness. Is there capacity to support the solution in-house? Is change management, has that been considered? Are your internal support teams and staff ready for this new functionality and new system? And fifth is, do you have a defined path to scale? If the pilot works out, what happens next, right? Is there a roadmap to production? Is funding already allocated or does need to be allocated? Has the integration across your organization been planned for other systems? When organizations struggle with AI, one of these five areas is usually pretty weak within that organization. When these five areas are strong, AI moves from experimentation to capability extremely quick. Now, I want to turn to for a minute here to a practical framework to kind of put this in action. A lot of the same principles, but I want to re-emphasize how this works and what you should be doing. Responsible AI adoption does not require a massive transformation program on day one. It requires disciplined progression through the various stages. Step one is identifying that high impact business problem. Not five problems, not 10 problems, a single problem, one problem. Okay, the idea behind go big or go home doesn't apply here. One to start. Focus creates clarity, and clarity will help you drive execution. Step two, you want to assess and strengthen that foundation. Evaluate your business alignment, your governance, data readiness, operational preparedness before expanding any kind of a scope. If gaps exist, address them in parallel. If you can, not do it ahead of time as you're beginning the process of building out your framework for AI adoption. Step three, implement with governance guardrails. Don't bypass existing security, identity management, or compliance structures in the sake of speed. Responsible innovation moves within established controls. Never, never skip these. Step four is measure results and scale intentionally. Did our initiative deliver measurable value to the organization or the department? Is adoption growing? Is trust being maintained? Or do we have doubts about our data and response? If the answer is yes, beautiful. Expand thoughtfully in that process. Responsible AI is not about moving fast and breaking things. It's about moving forward with disciplines that innovation can compound over time. So, as we're heading towards the end of our session today, I want to come back to the tension that we started with innovation versus stability. In enterprise environments, this is not optional. Stability protects revenue, compliance, and operational continuity, but innovation is also not optional. Competitive pressure, automation, data-driven decision making demands progress. The key insight is stability and transformation are not opposites, they go hand in hand. When AI is aligned to the business outcomes, governed properly, built on trusted data sets, and implemented intentionally, it doesn't disrupt enterprise controls, it operates within them. AI should reduce risk if done properly. It should reduce manual errors. It should increase visibility and transparency, and it should increase decision-making abilities within the organization. Responsible AI is how experimentation becomes capability. It's how organizations move from curiosity to confidence. So, this is the actual responsible AI readiness checklist that we use with our own clients on a regular basis. The checklist expands on the five areas we discussed previously and gives you a nice structured way to evaluate your own organization. This isn't theoretical. It's not something that we just throw together because it looks good on a slide, which actually looks terrible on a slide now that I see it here on the screen. It's something you can actually use. It covers several of the areas we discussed today: business alignment, governance, data readiness, infrastructure, pilot discipline, organizational readiness, as well as a couple other items. Each section has a series of statements, which we encourage you to scroll through them, read them, and score each one, okay, on where you honestly are today. When you score these after you finish, sum it all up. The number is going to help you to understand and see where you are in your own AI readiness journey. The number is not about passing or failing, it's about clarity and providing data for you. It's very easy for a company or organization to say, we're doing AI. It's much harder to say, we have executive sponsorship, baseline metrics, governance and review processes and controls, documented pilot criteria, and defined path from pilot to production excellence. This tool hopefully will enable and force you to have those conversations. And here's something I strongly recommend. Don't have one person fill it out in your organization. Have your CIO score it and do it. Have your data lead score it. Have someone from operations score it, business lines of business, department heads. Okay. It's 20 to 30 or so different statements and questions. It's not a very long process. Then compare the results collectively. If the scores are different between your different people in your organization, that's not a problem. That's data and that's true insight to where you guys are. The gap between perception and reality is usually where the real work begins. If everyone prefers working in Excel by chance, I have the same document in a PDF available, but I happily will email you the Excel version. Reach out to me afterward, and I'll happily share that. On the next slide, I'm going to show you where you can actually download this full checklist. So I hope today's session was useful, and we've made this a practical, quick little overview guide for you in terms of how to be responsible with AI adoption in your organization. This QR code will take you to our website page on our site directly dedicated to responsible AI resources. You'll find the checklist available as a download. Again, for the spreadsheet, email me separately, it's fine. You'll also find additional AI strategy resources, some documentation material that we use to build this presentation off of, deep dive sessions and business alignment and whatnot. If you want to continue the conversation directly with myself or my team, my contact information is there as well. I'll leave this slide up here, and if there are any questions, I'll happily take them right now. You can post them in the actual chat. Okay. Easy peasy. I like you folks. Okay. Well, listen, again, I want to thank you all for coming today, taking time out of your busy schedules. And again, my contact information is up here on the screen. Feel free to grab it. Or again, that QR code is available. Our website also has a blog on the same topic. You can download from there as well if you'd like. And look forward to hearing about your own responsible AI journeys. Thank you so much for coming today.